When I bought my first house, hired this guy to do the renovation on my duplex. I get the inspection back, 99 pages. How bad do you want to start? Don't start if you're not in this for the long game. I didn't start scaling into bringing in help to manage because I knew the contractors, I had the resources, I was educated on the properties. If I was not in real estate, I wouldn't try to do that because you're one phone call away from burning down all of your financial profits, screwing up your house, setting your property back for years. And you're just one wrong phone call away. And look, I'm sure you guys get these calls all the time where it's like, why didn't you call me first? Those things happen all the time with our clients. So for us, it was always a no-brainer. Like I got to keep it close to me so I have control and understanding and knowledge of everything. And now the guy that does our management, he does it with Russ, my team member, but he works at Lockstep. He oversees everything. He's communicating with clients. So he's like a brand extension of like our in-house stuff at Lockstep. So yeah. I know Kevin, I trust Kevin, and he crushes that side of things for us. So,
yeah. And it makes sense because, and I'm going to kind of, I guess, go back to a little bit of the narrative of self-managing versus hiring property management. Because obviously, we run a property management company, and what you've talked about, doing the BRRRR method, doing value add renovation, and essentially building your own property management operations. I mean, it's incredible what you've built, and it's something that not a lot of people do. And I think Stuart and I would probably both agree that, we might have a little bit of bias here, but I would just say objectively, I think it's something that not everyone should do.
I would agree with that 1,000,000%. Like, if I didn't have the resources and the knowledge of the industry, and then at the time, the people, like all of these things just fell into place. But if it was if I was investing in another market that I didn't have knowledge of, I wouldn't self-manage that. I wouldn't, if I was doing short terms, I would have a whole team of people that I hired to do those things. So I think, look, there are so many people that have got into investing in real estate over the last, call it 5 or 6 years. It's all the stuff on TikTok and all the stuff on Instagram. People get in because they think it's easy, but they need guys like you guys that are in this every single day to go, why did you buy this? Did you fix this? This is what needs to be done, and I have resources that can do this for you. And look, I think part of the reason you guys are so successful is over the last handful of years, you've seen the houses that come to market that are listed by PM companies that have been around for a really long time. It's this house hasn't been maintained. This looks like this investor was set up to fail by buying into a poor operation. And look, I see the stuff you guys put out, and I see some of the stuff I have a good relationship with Kenny Hall at Live. And I think there's levels of professionalism, just like all areas of real estate. There's flippers out there that we tell our clients don't touch their product. You're going to get to inspection. It's going to be a problem every single time. And there's realtors out there that cut every corner. And I think it's the blessing and the curse of real estate, the stigma and the perception that people have about investors and slumlords and landlords and realtors and all that stuff exists, but it also gives us a great opportunity to really shine and set a different precedent of what's out there. So yeah, I would agree. Look, when I bought my first house, I hired this guy to do the renovation on my duplex. And he comes in and he gives me this bid, and it was all I could afford. But I didn't know he was working other jobs. So what he told me would take 6 weeks. On the third month, I'm cussing him out every single day, screaming and yelling at him. I'm I can't move into this house. I'm still renting this other house I lived in. All of a sudden my payments are now I'm getting like
doubled. Yeah, you're doing.
I'm like
double payments.
freaking out.
Yeah.
And so like there's so many things along the way that because I had other income streams, like buying, like generating real estate transactions and everything else I was doing, like you get to those positions, you could afford the mistakes, but look, I paid for my lumps for sure.
I was gonna say your first renovation experience sounds very similar to mine.
Oh my gosh.
Because we did it was a house hack, right? It was a house that we bought in distressed condition, used FHA 203K loan, renovation loan to finance it. And we were going from renting to getting into that.
Yep.
And this was before I was a licensed agent. So, I led an agent who was probably just hungry for a commission. Like, luckily, I mean, I still own it. It's a rental now, but it was like an experience where it was that like quoted me, 2 months and took 4 months to get through it. But
my inspection report. So like I showed this house to a buddy, this duplex. And he's like, this ain't for me. Oof. And I was like, I left and was like, it's listed for $275. I think I could get it for $250. Oh man, I think this is the stuff everyone tells me to do. So I write this offer, 10 counter offers back and forth for this deal. Like I'm everything that realtors hate in a buyer at this point, like countering over $1,000. Mm-hmm. Get the deal done. I get the inspection back, 99 pages. And you know how they tell you, like, when you're a buyer, oh, you should go to your inspections. So I, like, show up, and Shane Peterson, it used to be House Masters, is like, dude, there's a lot of brick issues, like masonry issues. The windows are original, so it's 1922. This is like 2016, so nearly 100 years old. You could look behind the foundation in the front of the house and, like, see into the basement. But I was like, I'll just fix all this. Like, whatever. Knob and tube.
Yeah. Every problem.
Every single thing. And I was like, dude, this house is awesome, isn't it, Shane? He's like, Alex, there are so many problems here. And I'm like, some paint over here, some carpet down there. I'll live in this side. I'll slap some new tile, redo the kitchen a little bit, paint the cabinets, throw some stone on it. I'm like, this is killer. 99-page inspection report. And I call my buddy, who's an investor. And I was like, I have no money. All of my money is my down payment. And he's like, do not bail on this deal. And I was like, I don't have any money. He's like, go sell another house. Just keep selling, dude. This will be the best thing you ever did. And I ended up, after negotiations on inspection, it was like a net purchase of like $250. And I got a ton of credits at a ton of credits. And that thing today, I've got an equity line on it for like 120 grand that I use all the time. And it rents for $4,400 a month between the two sides. And I think the mortgage payment on it, even after the 2% on your taxes, $2,100. So it's like, I got a mortgage balance on it of $180,000, and I think I could probably sell it in the open market for $600,000, given like what the rents are and what somebody'd pay for that location.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of, and look, I think it matters to the listeners and to the people out there. It's like, that was 2016. There weren't many duplexes available on the market. People weren't hungry to buy them. House hacking wasn't educated about how it is today. My interest rate on 15% down was like 4.375.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course the math worked, but it does but when I bought that for $250,000 with all those problems, one side rented for $1,100. I was moving into that side. The other side rented for $1,400. So it was like a simple 1%er.
Which at that time was not sexy.
It was not. And then the market went bonkers and people rode the wave of increased rents, market appreciation year over year over year. It just became nuts. And it's like a lot of folks that tell these investor stories, I own all these properties and it's real easy and you can do it. It's like, well, tell the story from today, not from what it was years ago, because today's investor doesn't, like, they got rates at 7 or 6.9 or 7.5. It's like, I have one in my portfolio, I think at almost an 8, and it's like, that's hard. And these 1%ers that people are attracted to today, go drive there. Tell me if you want to meet a tenant there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and so many investors target that cash flow. Even back in 2016, it was, I like to tell people, now I get calls like, I would love to get something that hits the 1% rule. And then back then that was like, if you could get the 1% rule, that property better be in an A class.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to buy in a C class, I expect the 2% rule. That was what people would ask me for. And it was, believe it or not, it was achievable back then. But I do want to get into, you mentioned like to do it in today's numbers.
Yeah.
I want you to expand on that idea a little bit.
Sure.
Like if you're talking to an investor today, as we do all the time, who's like, hey, I've got some money saved up for a down payment. Maybe I own my own home. Maybe I don't even own my own home, but I want to get into real estate investing. Like, what do you tell that person? Where do you start if you had to start all over again?
How bad do you want to start? Don't start if you're not in this for the long game.
You can check out our full library of episodes wherever you get your podcasts.